Be pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets.
All right, pull out your ticket from March 28th or whatever it was before the season started. Go ahead. You were in Vegas and you said, all right, I'm going to put this is my World Series matchup. And you had the Dodgers and you had the Yankees. Or you took a shot a little bit, right? And you had the Astros and you went off the board a little bit. And you had the Phillies. They probably weren't off the board. Who had Diamondbacks Rangers? Go ahead. I mean, I want to say, show me the timestamp because you know your stuff. Diamondbacks Rangers is your World Series. Two incredible stories. Two phenomenal resurrections of clubs from just a couple of years ago. And I think, and I know we're gonna hear it. Who cares? It's not the Dodgers and the Yankees. It's not the Phillies and the Braves and the Astros and okay. I care. I'll watch, and I'm going to tell you a lot of people will as well. Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday or whatever day it is. Is it Wednesday today? Opening
it is.
Jefferson Beata, JJ Buck, DC. What's up?
What did you?
You all right?
All right.
Did you have Diamondbacks and Rangers on your bingo card in the World Series?
Did not have
did.
these at the beginning of the season.
It's somewhat amazing. It's somewhat stunning. It's somewhat incredible, and it's really cool, I think, that it's two teams that, I always tell you at the beginning of the playoffs, right? We start October. I said, you're going to learn about guys you never heard of. You're going to watch the playoffs. You're going to learn about players that, that have been really good all year and guys that, I mean, if you're a peripheral baseball fan, I think that's what most people have become, that you're going to learn about dudes. And whether it's, I mean, I don't know, Pickett, Ketel Marquez, Paul Sewald, Torey Lovello, right? Pick your dude. Even Adolis Garcia, right? I mean, seriously, that's what baseball playoffs are more than probably anything else. Because unless you're in the market, now if you're in Phoenix, you probably know all about Corbin Carroll. You knew about him all year. If you play fantasy baseball, you know it as well. Tommy Pham, right? But now America knows. That's what Torey Lovello said, the manager, the other day. He said, the coolest part is that now America gets to know about our guys. I don't know. Are you into this? Because I'm totally into it. I think the baseball's great.
Yes, it's championships. It's baseball has done this. If you're playing playoffs, it's not crazy, especially in Major League Baseball postseason. I have a wild card team go on a run, and then even a wild card team that wasn't on the top of your mind when you're selecting your winners of teams who could get hot and move on. The Rangers, once you got to the postseason, they weren't a surprise anymore. That team almost won the division against the Houston Astros.
Right.
The Arizona Diamondbacks were the surprise of the NL.
And they were right before the All-Star break. I think the Dodgers caught them like a couple of days before the All-Star break. But the first half of the season, they were in first place in the American League or in the National League West. And we're kind of looking at going, wow, what's going on here? Tell me what's happening with them. But still, then they faded. They had a fight to make the playoffs. They're a hell of a story, man. And the national media is talking about Philadelphia and how it was a collapse, and because like they were the World Series last year. The place is a lunacy house, and I say that in the greatest sense. But I think this is great for baseball. I don't know where you guys are on the matchup, and everybody's gonna tell you, the networks wanted whatever. This is why you play playoffs.
Yeah,
this
to me,
is why
it
you have
doesn't
championships.
change baseball, because the Nationals didn't change the game when they won the World Series. You just know that every few years a team could get hot and go on a run like this.
Yeah. All right. A ton to do today. Coming off a gigantic night yesterday with a couple of extra things thrown in. NBA opened, Aggies won, and Nelly Jr. Joseph has landed.
He's back.
Richard Pitino put out a tweet yesterday, somewhere about 6:30, and it showed a picture of Nelly Jr. Joseph walking down the ramp at the pit, and Lobo fan finally was able to go, oh yeah, now we're good, right? Now we're good. He had been detained. Detained's not the right word. He had been at visa issues, trying to get out of Nigeria. Detained is probably a completely wrong word, and I apologize.
Everyone's like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's not right, and I apologize, and I caught it as it came through my lips, and I'm sorry. But there was some visa issues getting him here. He is here. He practiced, and Lobos have an exhibition tomorrow night in the pit. I don't know how much he'll play, but he'll be there. And Lobo fan, how you feel? Could you just feel the pressure just come off of them?
Yes, because I still think a lot of people felt that there was time, but then you're looking and you're like, oh, there's an exhibition game, and then you'll blink and be in the start of the regular season. And it was such a big unknown. Visa issues. Yeah. And everyone was asking for answers, and no one had answers. And
there's a lot of rumors going around, right? You and I have talked about what I've heard, what you've heard, and there was a very consistent rumor going around that was probably the right thing. And whatever, they weren't saying anything, just we hope he's going to get here. We hope he's going to get here. No, we're working on it. I've talked to him every day. Blah, blah. I mean, now all of a sudden it's like, okay, it's almost lunchtime. Right? It's time to eat. Like, let's go. And he's here. So I now you got to get him. You lost the last month of him practicing with your team. That'll make James, I believe, is the emailer who said, why are they practicing in October, a lot happier. And maybe Nelly won't be tired.
Nelly will be a little fresher. Like this, they'll of course have some chemistry stuff to work through and just getting accustomed to what they want to run offensively in the sets. But Nelly Jr. Joseph is the key to everything because he is a true game changer defensively in the post. And when you look at this team, the focus on just getting a little stronger on the wing, because with Mashburn and House, you're small on the perimeter. You are. Yeah, but right. House is feisty. He's going to get his steals. But when people turn that corner and they're going towards the basket, you have someone that's not going to be scared to swat shots.
Yeah.
And he has a very good capability of doing that, and then will be effective in transition.
All right, so that is we're going to go there a lot. And then there were the Aggies last night. Aggies have won 4 in a row for the first time since 2002. They won in Ruston, Louisiana, against Louisiana Tech for the first time since ever. They were down 16-3 against Louisiana Tech, came back, took a lead, and had 2 defensive stands with big hits, and are 4-1 in Conference USA, are 6-3 overall, and I felt like I was putting the damper on people yesterday. So here's the deal, and I'm not looking to put a damper on it, and I know Rick Neuheisel said it, and Kata Blackburn said it. They play 13 games this year, so 7 is bowl eligible. Everybody, they're bowl eligible. They're bowl eligible, JJ. I think if there's not enough teams with 6 and 6 or 7 win records, I think 6 and 7, but get one more and at least one more. Get 2 or 3 more. But they got 4 left, right? I believe they'll get one more. Bowl eligibility. I don't think they got their bowl bound T-shirts last night. Maybe I'm wrong, but most teams bowl eligible is 6, but they played 13 this year, so they do need one more to secure a bowl spot. But so that's not dampering anything.
Oh, it's just everyone is saying that. Everyone
I know
is saying that.
I know, I know, and I'll show you the bull sheet. I'll show you. It's kind of my business. So they got to get one more, but that takes nothing away from the fact that this team has won 4 in a row. The bounce back after losing the game in Hawaii, right? Was the last? Yeah, they lost that game in Hawaii, and have come back, and then to win on the road, and then win JJ down 16-3. And then do it with defense. I thought that they had a couple. I thought the Miles Rouser hit at the end of the game was big, the pass breakup. And I thought Keyshawn Elliott getting the quarterback and forcing the fumble was big. They did it when it was all said and done. They did it with defense and held Louisiana Tech to one touchdown drive in the second half.
To have multiple stops late in the fourth quarter with the game on the line. And all La Tech had to do was get in field goal range.
Yeah, and they were.
And they didn't.
Well, they were on that first drive where Keyshawn Elliott forced the fumble. Yeah.
On the edge of it for college kicker. And to force the fumble, come back at the 4th down stop. This team responds. And they are just a good football team.
I think that's fair.
It's not a shock anymore. And that's why going into this game, I'll take the Aggies. And the points easy. Yeah. Yeah, I had a buddy, an Aztec fan, buddy of mine, just texted me last night. He's like, wow, I'm watching for the first time. They're good. They got players. And I think at the end he said they had as many wins as the Lobos and Aztecs combined. And I believe him to be right as of now. They have 6 wins. They are 4-1 in their league. It's the first year in the league. Now they got 4 tough ones left. Middle Tennessee, Middle Tennessee's on a down year, 1-3, 2-6, but they're playing everybody tight. And then they get what are the 2 of the top 3 teams in their league, Western Kentucky. And I don't know. I guess you got to throw Jacksonville State and New Mexico State, maybe 2 of the top 4, right? New Mexico State's got to be considered one of the top 3 teams in their league. Yeah, they can beat Western. They got Middle Tennessee at home next Saturday. They're back on Saturdays, a week from this Saturday on the 4th. They'll go to Bowling Green to play Western Kentucky. Then they got to go to Auburn, and you're hoping they got one. They got their win cemented by then. And if it comes down to Thanksgiving weekend against Rich Rod and Jacksonville State, it makes you nervous. The Aggies have scored more points than MTSU and given up less points than MTSU.
Yeah. No, there's no reason they can't beat Middle Tennessee. They should beat Middle Tennessee State at home. And I don't say that about Aggie teams over the years, but I look at it with everything that they've got on the line. Right now, Middle's going to come to Middle play tonight. Or are they off this week? They might be on the bye week this week too. And that's the second week in a row they're catching a team coming off a bye. Louisiana Tech just came off a bye, but Middle's playing for their bowl lives right now because they are 2-6. I mean, you're saying 2-6, they're not making a bowl game. The Aggies are playing to get bowl eligible and knowing what's coming up in front of them, and they should have. They're back on Saturday, and it's going to be a Saturday in November. Students are there. They should have a good crowd. They've got everything in the world to play for next Saturday. They should have a pretty good crowd down there.
MTSU game should be one of the biggest Aggie home games that doesn't involve the Lobos in...
Or the Miners. Yeah.
Yeah, you're correct. A rival.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, everything's riding on it.
In a long time.
Yeah, everything is riding on it. All right, 505. Well, not everything because they'll have 3 more chances. But I mean, they've got everything that they want. Conference championship.
This even feels different than 2017 because you're actually talking about this team being in a conference race.
October. Yeah, that's a really good point.
We're going down into the season. Can't get bowl eligible. Like this team is not just worried about getting bowl eligible. This team is not worried, but this team is like we are so much better than just getting to 7.
Well, they could get into the Conference USA Championship game.
Yeah.
They could. I mean, if they're going to have to beat Western Kentucky and or Jacksonville State because it looks like Liberty's going to run the table, right? Liberty beat Western Kentucky last night. They've already beat Jacksonville State. They've already beat New Mexico State. So Liberty's going to get in, and it's who they're going to play. Jacksonville State's the 1-loss team right now. Western Kentucky's got 2. New Mexico State's only got 1. Aggies still have to go play Western Kentucky there, and they get Jacksonville State at home. So, yeah. I mean, they're still playing for a conference championship. Everything is still sitting there in front of you. Aggie fan, let's go. I mean, it's it can be your day. 505-246-0610. I'll go talk some high school sports at 7:30. Can't wait to catch up with Sebastian Noel, right? Is this the last weekend of high school football, regular season? Brackets come out next week?
Brackets out Sunday morning.
Brackets out Sunday morning. It's been long overdue that we catch up with our buddy from ProView Networks, Sebastian Noel. So we're going to do that coming up at 7:30. It's yours up until then and after then, because, boy, do we got a lot to do. There's a ton of NFL. We got a week starts tomorrow. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
Susie Schuster and Amy.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This is
24 at Louisiana Tech. A really, really big win for the program, I think. First time since 2006 they've won 4 in a row. First time they've ever won at Louisiana Tech. They played with Louisiana Tech in the WAC, and I want to say, were they both in the Sun Belt too? I believe so, but now in Conference USA. They never won there. And it was a 10-play, 81-yard drive. 31. It ended up with a 31-yard field goal. Jago was good. I don't think he was great yesterday. I thought Louisiana Tech did a good job pressuring him. And we had a Jake Bachmeier sighting, JJ. It was like I kind of forgot where Jake Bachmeier, the former Boise State quarterback, had landed. And I was on my TV, and there was Jake Bachmeier. That's where he is, because he'd been out for a month, too.
La Tech.
First time in a month. He went 20 for 26 for 238 yards, but got lit up at the end and fumbled the football back. I thought that was the biggest play of the game. The Rouser hit at the end was big, but the one on the second to last drive, they gave New Mexico State the ball back. They went 3 and out, and Louisiana Tech at the timeouts. But I thought that was one of the biggest plays of the game. One other college football note: Army will join the American Athletic Conference for football starting next year. So that puts the Army-Navy game as a conference game. The rest of their athletics will stay in the Patriot League. So they play basketball and lacrosse and everything else in the Patriot League. But football, they'll go to the American.
They're not crying about revenue disparity?
Army isn't? You mean with their federal funding?
But I'm just saying, it's like you can do it. And it's better for the other sports.
Yeah. They're 2-5 this year, but they've been independent for a while. All right. 505-246-0610. If you want to get in on the Diamondbacks yesterday, they're going to the World Series to play the Rangers. How'd you guys like the NBA last night? Your Chicky Nuggets 119-107 over the hated Lakers. Got tight there towards the end. It got to within 3, but the Nuggets raised the banner. Did they get rings last night too? They got beautiful. I like the biggest rings ever, because the newest rings have to be the biggest ever, right?
They had this sliding feature that's unique.
That's like the new thing now, right?
It's gold and silver. There's 89 rubies in there.
I need a sliding feature on my ring.
I do too. I saw that. I was like, why don't I have a sliding ring? Like, what's up with that?
That'd be a big ass ring you got to wear every day.
I'm good with that.
How big's your ring? Let me see.
Oh, so here's the story. I do not wear a ring when I'm on the board, because one time I had to catch a knob and I just refused to do it again.
I had to catch a knob.
Yeah, it's
right.
great. Insider business.
All right, how do you feel about your Nuggets though? I mean, that's
pretty good.
Nice win.
It was a little. I had some questions about what the rotation was going to look like, and it was a tighter rotation. And as you get into the season, you hope that you can spread some of those minutes around. If you're Michael Malone, get some of those young guys going. Reggie Jackson looked pretty good. Got a veteran point guard coming off. Nikola Jokic, just reminding everyone, like, eat it. That's the best dude that plays basketball in the world. Triple-double coming out. Everyone's on the Lake show. Lakers this, Lakers that. 0 point second half for Anthony Davis.
You know why everybody's on the Lakers? Because, well, the Lakers are on the Lakers, and the Lakers have the microphone. They're LA, and they have LeBron James. And they're going to be fine, and the Lakers will be a nice club. The Nuggets are better. Nuggets, check me if I'm wrong, because I might be.
I still need someone to talk to me about Michael Porter Jr. though. That is the difference for this team.
Meaning what? Like
if he is a true number 3,
yeah.
Instead of a dude that just jacks up shots, misses every 3-pointer, and then gets a double-double but doesn't feel like he really does anything defensively. Like if he morphs into a legitimate, okay, this guy can win you some games, then I'm feeling different about the Nuggets.
Mike Porter Jr. does look bigger physically, which that is one thing I always thought he was very undersized. So last night, I had the same thought. My eyes were on Porter Jr. for sure, and he looked good at the beginning. I hope that continues, but I'm glad he's gained some size.
All right, keep me from overreacting. How big was that deal? How big of a game was that? I mean, it's one game out of 82. It was on TV. It was. I mean, it's one game, right? It's a nice win.
It's one game,
and we have to let you. It's like you shut the Lakers up for a day.
You were feeling very happy because that's an easy game to lose for a defending champion. Off season, you've done your partying. Like, all right, I guess we got to get back to work. Then you have banners, dropping it, everything that's going on. And the Nuggets, they outscored the Lakers 34-20 in that first quarter. They came out buzzing.
Yeah, they should have, right? I mean, with all the buzz in the building, right?
Well, it can easily go the other way in situations like that.
It could. All right, the other game last night, Phoenix 108, the Warriors 104. No Bradley Beal for Phoenix, no Draymond Green for Golden State. 32 points for Devin Booker. It's a heck of a start to the season for what should be a terrific campaign for him. Kevin Durant, 18 points to go with 11 rebounds. Steph Curry had 27 for the Warriors. It was in San Francisco. The Suns outscored Golden State 28-18 in the fourth quarter after being outscored 40-19 in the
that third quarter. You're like, all right, this is Golden State.
Right?
That was the weirdest thing.
You score 40 points in the third and 18 in both the second and the fourth.
The weirdest thing to me was seeing Chris Paul on the floor with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. It was just like, this is a thing. This is happening. And in the third quarter, it looked really good. And you saw Golden State was better with the basketball. They had the most turnovers in the NBA last season. And Chris Paul is going to help them be better with the basketball. What I don't want to see from Chris Paul is in the final 3 to 4 minutes of fourth quarter, he's the one pulling up from three. That ain't your game. Yeah. You got Klay Thompson. You got Steph Curry.
And it's not what you're there for. Yeah.
Set those guys up. Play some defense. Hit a mid-range shot. Stop shooting threes late in games. You know who was fantastic with the ball in his hand late in that game? That was Devin Booker. This Phoenix does not have a point guard. They're not running a true point guard out there right now. They're letting Devin Booker, Kevin Durant run the show. Bradley Beal will get his opportunity. He comes back, and he set up some easy baskets in clutch time for his teammates. And you're right, both these teams had a key player out, but you could tell for Phoenix, especially Devin Booker, like that opener, finishing a game like that, winning in Golden State, they were locked in on this one.
All right, we're going to do some high school stuff when we get back. Playoffs are coming, and we got we haven't done it in too long. It's literally just been too long. We've caught up with Sebastian Noel, the voice of the people over at ProView Networks. We're going to do that next. Who's in, who's out, who needs to win, who do you got to watch? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets.
That's a big week around the state. Some athletes, young football players would play their final ever high school or any football game as seniors. They don't make the playoffs. Some need to win to get into the playoffs. Some playoffs will start in some classifications. It's the opening drive. Jeff Zimbietta, JJ Buck. We've got, you'll get the brackets announced on, I believe, on Sunday. Some teams got to win. And it's been too long since we've caught up with our good friend, the voice of the people, the guru over at ProView Networks. He is Sebastian Noel. Been too long, my friend. How you living?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, I miss you guys.
We miss you as well. Glad you're here. We're still listening, by the way. We still watch. We still got your stuff. You know what's crazy to me? I look at it, and typically I look at the top of the polls and top of the standings, especially at 6A, and I got teams with no losses, 1 loss, and I understand that two of LaQueva's 3 losses, right, or forfeits from the beginning of the season. But you got all 2 and 3 loss teams at 6A, only the 1 undefeated in 5A. It's kind of crazy how people have been beating each other up this year.
Yeah, just the one forfeit at the beginning there. But yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I think the thing, if we want to look at 6A, is the big story there is Cleveland has losses, right? And then plus the forfeit at LaQueva there, and so there's a little bit of parity there, but it kind of stops at the very top.
Is it 1, 2, 3, or just one? Is it just after 2, like Cleveland, LaQueva, or do you put Centennial in there as a real contender?
Well, I think you have to, especially since they have a head-to-head against one of those teams, and Centennial perennially is very good, and so I think you have to put them in there. I mean, I think you can extend that conversation to maybe as far as Volcano Vista, but if you're being generous, but I think really, hey, to me, we're having the same conversation now than we would have 4 months ago. I would have said Cleveland La Cueva championship, let's go, and nothing during the regular season has happened to deter me from thinking that.
Yeah. I looked through games coming up this week, teams that want to get in the playoffs, and teams that have to win, and probably El Dorado's one of them, right? Charlie's, I mean, it's a pretty good game. El Dorado, West Mesa. El Dorado probably needs to win to get into the playoffs, and even then, they might need some help.
Yeah, I think whoever loses that game's out, and that West Mesa would be. I think West Mesa would slide out as well if they. The wild card there is Clovis. If Clovis could somehow, and I don't anticipate this happening, but if they could somehow win their district at home against Los Lunas, that's the only caveat there is it is in Clovis. Then that throws a wrench into everything. But assuming that Los Lunas easily takes care of business on the road in Clovis, that West Mesa El Dorado matchup should be for the last spot in the playoffs.
Sebastian, you go down south and another district championship on the line, Las Cruces and Centennial. We just mentioned Centennial, but just the magnitude of that game, Build the Dreams on a Friday night. What's it going to be like?
Las Cruces, they have that 5-4 record, but they're just not to the caliber of a Centennial, and they haven't been in a few years. So it would surprise me if that game yielded a close score.
Roswell Goddard's going to be good. It's always good. Is Roswell the best team in any classification in the state this year?
I think you can make that argument. I think when they defeated Artesia, some people that I talked to were a little surprised, and that kind of took me aback because I said, well, why did you think Artesia would just easily roll in there and win? I think Artesia, having previously beat Cleveland, had everyone thinking that Artesia was untouchable, but Roswell's been that good for a while. It's quite a program Coach Lynn has down there. They're really quick to the ball defensively. They're fast on offense. They have a ton of seniors. Roswell's a good football team.
Sebastian Noel is the voice of the people. You watch him over on ProView Network. He's the voice that you hear in the My 50 Game of the Week. And he's with us on These Sports Animals. We hit the last week of the regular season in high school football, and great games all over the land of enchantment with so much meaning on the line.
Hey, Sebastian, you mentioned Class 5A there with Roswell and Artesia, and yeah, they look better than everyone else, especially if you're just looking at the records. But there's any other good stories coming out of that classification or teams that get a good job, good effort this season?
Well, I think if you stay in that classification, you got to talk about Valley. I mean, Valley winning their district, what Coach Kobos has done there to kind of re-energize that program. They had over 100 kids come out this year when that program was on its deathbed at the end of COVID, right? So they win their district. They do so in a game where they didn't complete a pass. I was calling that game, and I was flipping through notes. I was like, wait a minute, they haven't had a completion. And sure enough, they win a game without completing a pass. What Charles Lopez Burton's been able to do for them as a running back has just been amazing. So I think that's a really nice story. Valley, certainly that community's gotten behind that team. Highland being over 500, that's a sight for sore eyes. That's nice.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah, no, and look, it's been a minute. I might go all the way back to when Judge Chavez was there, right? I mean, it was a long time ago since they've been pretty good. Players to watch. Somebody says, all right, I want to go watch a football game or two over the next couple of weeks. Who do I need to see?
That was always tough, and I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I think usually the offensive players bring the eyes, right? But there's some defensive players
Stratton Schufeld.
Stratton Schufeld, Mason Posa. If you can go see those two guys play, the amount of D1 offers that they're racking up, the amount of havoc they cause in the middle of the field, they're fun to watch, man. I know it's defense, but they are fun to watch. And then if you go down a couple of classifications, if you want to watch a lower classification version of a Mason Posa or a Strat Schufeld, a kid that causes the same havoc, but on a smaller scale, Academy's Brody Whitaker. He's just fun to watch.
A big bowling ball in the middle, and I like him, and he's been doing it for a couple of years, and it just wreaks havoc. No, I agree with you. And since you're going to 4A, is Portales just better than everybody else? Because they've rolled through that district. I know Bloomfield's undefeated too, but Portales, man, they've been putting up numbers.
Well, Portales is a dominant defense. Bloomfield is a great offense. I'd love to see that matchup in the championship. I'll tell you that. But with that being said, Lovington, they're really good. They have that. Don't let that 6-3 record fool you. They always play up in classifications during the non-district part of the season, so they always take their lumps early in the season. So definitely Lovington belongs in that conversation.
All right. Sebastian Noel is with us on The Sports Animal. Are there too many classifications? And I small populous state, we have one all the way through. We have 8-man, we have 6-man, then 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Would it be more competitive? Would it be more compelling? If it just feels like there's one too many, and I could be wrong.
No, I think you're spot on. I mean, and you know, I do this every week, and the amount of blowouts during the regular season is it's constant. You see it when you look at the scores, I'm sure, and it would make the playoffs compelling. I mean, if you look at 6A right now, and you take the top, let's say 8 in there, that would be Cleveland, La Cueva, Centennial, Los Lunas, Volcano Vista, Las Cruces, Sandia, Rio Rancho, right? Those are some quality teams. Now, if you go to 5A and you have to fill out a bracket of 12, you take the top 4 there, Roswell, Artesia, Goddard, PV, that's 12 really good teams, right? So, but then you go down the ladder, you go to 4A, Portales, Bloomfield, Lovington, Silver at the top. Bernalillo's been a nice story. Academy's, perennially pretty good. But then 3A is just awful all the time, right? So you mix them in with a St. Mike's, a West Las Vegas, a Robertson. You could get some good games in the playoffs. We're going to head towards the playoffs where, like always, the first round of the playoffs is nothing but blowouts. And I think that goes. I mean, I could go on and on. Go on to 2A, same thing.
So what's the cure? How do you consolidate it? Like how do you make it where it would be competitive? Where these 3A teams would be competitive? Where because if you just add to the 6A, you're still going to have blowouts, right? You're going to have the bottom of the classification still going to be getting run. It just won't be in the playoffs.
Well, I think you have to eliminate the actual 6A class, right? And so all those teams get dumped into what I guess essentially would be 5A as the top there, because there's that scheduling stigma that, a 6A school, we can't schedule down into 5A, right? But we saw this year when Cleveland played Artesia that, you can schedule down into there and get a good game. So I think 6A, it has to be eliminated. I know they're talking about possibly having much, much larger districts and fewer of them, so scheduling becomes easier. But I think another solution to possibly look at is the number of classifications.
All right, this weekend, what do you got? What's my 50 game of the week on Friday? Let me guess.
We'll have Cleveland and Rio Rancho. That's an early start at 6 o'clock. That's a game. Obviously, Rio Rancho technically still alive to win that district, and what a story that would be if they upset Cleveland at the end of the season there. Then everyone gets to redo their brackets at that point, right?
Yeah, and the brackets come out on Sunday, right?
Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, which is a little different. So, it's hard. The ProView Networks crew is having trouble adjusting from beer and pizza to mimosas and bagels.
As long as you get the mimosas, man. Jay Paul will be around. He doesn't leave town, I don't think, till mid-afternoon. So I think he's good. And then I get a game on Saturday afternoon, too, if I want one. Bernalillo and Albuquerque Academy, which has some meaning to it, right? Because neither one of them can win the district, but it could be for a home game in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's a fun matchup on top of that always, right? Bernalillo has that defense that's a hard-hitting kind of, they pride themselves on their defense. That'd be a fun game.
All right. Let's catch up with you as we go through the playoffs. Watch him over on ProView Network so people know where your stuff is, so people can make sure they're still watching your show, which is spectacular, and catch you on the Friday nights.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. Of course, go to YouTube. Just type in ProView Networks there. You'll see Local Focus. You'll see all of our other programming. And, one more Friday, 6 o'clock, early start time.
Enjoy it, my friend. Always good to catch up with you. We'll do it again soon.
Thanks, guys. Be good.
Be well. He's the voice of the people, Sebastian Noel. It's that time, right? Just a little crisp now, a little cooler. Got to put on a hoodie to go out to the games now. Games mean something. Brackets come out on Sunday. It's kind of fun. And I love me the high school football.
I did too, but it's also hard to hear that the first round doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, he said,
and that's frustrating. It's hard. Yeah. And high school sports, I think football still has work to do in the state of Mexico.
100% agree with you.
Because when you're here and brackets are coming out and you're like, you don't have to actually pay attention until week 2, that's a hard sell.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. It's yours the rest of the way. We're going to get back into the NBA. The World Series is set. Aggies are winners yesterday. Aggie fan, where are you now? How do you feel about this team? I mean, you've got to feel good about where they are, what they're doing, and the trajectory. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico.
The NFL week starts tomorrow, right here on the Sports Animal. Buccaneers and Bills. Buffalo is an 8.5-point favorite. That's a thick number, isn't it? Coming off of what they looked like last week. All right, take the 8.5 if you want it. I'll go the other way. Just go the other way of me. That's all, because we're not very good at this. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. You can get in today, 505-246-0610. All right, Broncos safety Kareem Jackson was suspended for 4 games. He appealed the suspension, and the NFL has knocked it down to 2. The NFL spokesman, Michael Signora, has announced that hearing officer Derek Brooks reduced the suspension from 4 games to 2, and he'll be eligible to return Tuesday, November 14th. The Broncos host the Chiefs this weekend in Week 9, and they're on their bye in Week 10. They'll visit the Bills on Monday Night Football. You guys were discussing, it almost sounded like, when, I remember seeing your face, DC, you're just like, again with this guy? I'm not going to lie, I'm surprised they knocked it from 4 to 2.
Well, I didn't think the hit on Sunday was a suspension hit.
I think that's
want to say it's, all right, he hit a defensive receiver, yeah, but he didn't crown of the helmet to Luke Musgrave.
Okay. Where were you on that?
That hit was, when they replayed it, you're right, it wasn't crown of the head, it wasn't just the most egregious thing ever, but the guy's already had $90,000 worth of fines for the same stuff this year. So when he continues to do it, if you're not going to wrap a guy up, you need to learn how to tackle. I don't have any sympathy for him at all. I'm surprised they reduced it. Kareem Jackson, do better, man.
But that wasn't a wrap-up hit. The dude's catching the ball, you're trying to dislodge it. It's your job as a safety.
Such a fine line, right?
Yeah.
I lean your way on this.
If he's putting his head down and hitting everyone in the helmet constantly, but you look at some of the other hits, like the Logan Thomas one that Kareem Jackson had that was dirty, launched, went high, and hit a guy in the head. The other ones, man, it's bang, bang, and I can't just sit there and say it's a dirty player, but it's just the way the game is called that you get fined.
If you don't have your arm out trying to block the ball, I mean, it is a wrap-up hit. You're trying to tackle a receiver who's catching the ball. You need to.
But he was going to the ground and he's trying to dislodge the ball. That's not a wrap-up situation. The one we're referring to on Sunday against Musgrave.
Yeah, it's bang bang. You're absolutely right. For a veteran player, I don't find that to be acceptable.
But that's the way he's played his career.
Yeah.
Harrison Smith was talking about that. You don't think Harrison Smith the same way, but they've said over the last few years, yeah, they've had to change how they play, but the game is different. But I don't watch Kareem Jackson and think he's the dirtiest player ever.
Well, and I'm not saying he's the dirtiest player ever. That is not what I'm saying. I hold him to a higher standard being a veteran, and if the game's changing, he needs to change with it.
I just wonder how guys are supposed to play football sometimes.
Well, and that's a great question, because if it changes every year, how are you supposed to play?
Well, to be a defensive guy and your job is to dislodge the ball, and maybe this isn't the greatest. Every game I watched, there were hits last night, right, in the Aggie game, where I'm like, every time there's a good solid hit, and I wasn't a big fan of whoever the analyst was with Carter Blackburn last night, but he made a point, the way the game's called, every time there's a hit that, whoa, right, if the crowd goes, oh, they're going to review it. It's reviewed. And there was a hit like that last night. And it's like, you're looking at, there's no targeting. It was Louisiana Tech guy, came in shoulder to shoulder, but it was a good, solid, rocking football hit. We got to review it for targeting. I don't know how you're supposed to play football anymore. It is a violent game. And
And you're right. We've talked about this because you look at the Kareem Jackson hits. He's leading with his shoulders.
Yes.
But your helmet goes somewhere.
Your head's got to go somewhere. You can't take your head off, put it down for a second, and hit without your head. It's got to go somewhere. And so does the other man's. And you're both going at full speed. And even if you've got your target line right, your head's up, he moves, you move. That's why they wear helmets. That's why the technology in helmets is by the way, unbelievable. But I don't even know how you're supposed to play. I just happened to do this the other day.
And then it's also the movement at the last second of things.
That's my point.
We just watched Harrison Smith when he's lining up George Kittle, and all of a sudden George Kittle leaps in the air, and Harrison Smith hits him right in the groin. You're like, well.
Dudes are going so fast, they're moving, and they're full speed, world class athletes. It's hard to officiate. Like, I do have sympathy for the officials, and we keep throwing more and more at the officials. By the way, I did this exercise the other day, and I don't even know why. I was just in the office. You haven't been in my office, have you? So we've got all the helmets from every New Mexico Bowl, and now Isleta New Mexico Bowl lined up right, every team that's played. And I took down the San Jose State helmet from 2006 and compared it to the BYU and SMU helmets from last year. The difference in technology in helmets over the last 17 years is astonishing, you guys. Like, I just, wow, they put their heads in those things 17 years ago, and then you want to go 17 years back from that?
What were some of the bigger differences you noticed?
Well, just first of all, the overall construction, right? Just the molding of the helmet, the air, the air, the way your head is secured inside the helmet, the weight of it. It just, I almost should bring the two in, and show them to you, or come by the, I would take a look at them. It's, I don't know, when I said there's a reason to wear helmets, it just rattled my mind to that. But to the final point on this, how are you supposed to play football? Right? Every game you got a targeting, and it doesn't have to be intentional. I understand what we're trying to do. Sometimes your head's got to go somewhere. That was a conversation I had with that replay official a couple weeks ago. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Diamondbacks, Phillies, World Series. Who you like, why, and how did this happen? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and tomorrow night football.
Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point, and their
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, they slid out of going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that? Ethan Olguin. My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo. Unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto makes one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
Is that Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
That's Sweet Pete Jr. right
What a
there.
move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
2nd and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
With his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vicente Tafoya. Ryan Brown had punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it pay.
Back.
No! LaCueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
And JJ Buck.
You believe in magic? Like, not that dude, but like magic, like hocus pocus. Is that why the Diamondbacks were able to pull this off? Down 2-0, they got ran out of Philly. You, me, and probably everybody outside their locker room figured they were dead. DC was going to go over. He wanted to see a game in Arizona. Want to go to an NLCS game, hoping that there would be one. Got one. They got two. Yeah, but they lost the third, and they were just going back to Philly to be sacrificial lambs. Going back to that madhouse, the bank. Philly freaks everywhere. They won Game 6. All right, well, whatever. They're going to Game 7, and so, wait. The damn Diamondbacks are in the World Series? That's right. Diamondbacks Rangers, just like you called it. Good morning to you, boys and girls. It is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. The 84-win Diamondbacks. The team with a negative run differential, Diamondbacks. The underdogs in every series and probably in every damn game, Diamondbacks. Going to the World Series. The Diamondbacks. It's kind of fun. And if you watched them, they're a pretty hard team to not like. Unless you're a Phillies fan. If you don't have a dog in this fight, you got two kind of fun teams to watch, don't you think? Phillies out, Rangers and Diamondbacks are in.
They're in the World Series, so you'd hope they'd be fun. They won to get here.
Yeah, but they don't have to be fun. They can be mechanical and just an old school. I don't know if there's been teams that are just good. This is kind of a fun team to watch, and dudes you're learning about. And when people like Brandon Pfaadt, he's terrific, right? I don't know. People knew who he was, and then they probably were afraid to say his name, right? How do you say Pfaadt? Is it Pfaadt? Right? How do you say his name? Right? But I mean, you just look at dudes like that, and you're just like Kevin Ginkel, their setup guy, gets outs, big outs. Paul Sewald, the guy they got. By the way, one of the weirdest trades. The Mariners were in it, and they trade their closer to Arizona right around the trade deadline, And how good has Seawald been?
That's what they do. They did the same thing last year.
Who, the Mariners?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
They're like, we're just going to trade our closer at the deadline.
Yeah, it's really weird. We'll find another one.
Bullpen arms are a lot like running backs. You do not overpay for bullpen arms.
Yeah, but you use them.
You can always find a guy.
But you use them. Yeah. I mean, and you rely on them.
Yeah, you get one at the trade deadline. Yeah. You turn a failed starter into a bullpen guy. That's how it works.
They've been terrific, and they're that good. All right, I got on the text line. We're just talking about how to play football, right? What illegal hits are targeting. Text line says the defensive mentality of trying to injure and take players out of the game is the problem, and that's the problem that will never be solved because it starts when kids are 6. Then maybe it's on the way to being solved. If the issue is the mentality is, I'm struggling wanting to accept that. Is every, and he might not be wrong, is every defensive player's mentality, as this says, to injure and take players out of the game? You hear coaches all the time. I mean, Danny Gonzalez says, I tell our defensive guys to get there with bad humor, right? Other guys, bad intentions. You know, our defense is flying around and they're hitting and they have bad intentions.
You can't play football without physicality. And to tell yourself, like when we're talking about NFL football,
and
Division I football, play in and play out, you have to go hit someone
hard.
You have to have a mindset. Is the mindset to injure? I think that's changed. I do for players, but the
I think
mindset
they respect the game
has
enough.
to be physical.
Has to be, right? I don't know that it is to take a guy out of the game, although I don't know that it isn't.
If you're hitting someone, you want to leave your mark.
Look, I remember when I played. I didn't play at a high level, but I remember if we had a dude and he was out, coaches gave. I mean, that was a big attaboy, right? You knocked that dude out. You knocked him out of the game. I wouldn't try to take out a knee. You weren't trying to, give him a head injury, although I don't know that we cared about that back in that day. Right? No, seriously. The way this is written, and I don't know that this texter is wrong, but I'm struggling accepting that he's right. The defensive mentality of trying to injure and take players out of the game is the problem. And that's the problem that will never be solved because it starts when the kids are 6. And so what you're saying, and you're right, the mentality is you got to be physical, you got to be fast, you got to hit hard. That's what the game is. You can't take that out. So where is the line between I need to separate the ball from the player, I need to hit him hard, I need to let him know I'm here, and I'm trying to hurt a guy and I'm trying to send him to the sidelines? He might be right. And so,
but if you hit someone, you could hurt them, even if you're not trying to hurt them.
Some of the most serious injuries come on the most innocuous hits, right? And a lot of them are non-contact. And I keep going back to the crash that killed Dale Earnhardt. Looked like one of, like a NASCAR wreck you see 6 times a week, right? And that's the one that killed him. It was crazy. It didn't look like anything crazy. And then you see dudes flipping 17 times and cars jump on fire and the dude gets out and he's fine, right? It's kind of analogous to football. You see some of the most gnarly hits and dudes walk away, and then you see, a pile like you see, I don't know, on every play, and a dude's done. So a guy can get hurt on any play. You cannot litigate the physicality out of football. And the people who are, football's going to be gone in 15 years and it's going to be soccer. No, it's not. Youth football's still big. People love football. We all just clamor for it. We clamor for it in large part because we love physicality, right? You guys are old enough. The football, the NFL used to, their sizzle reels, their highlight tapes were all about big hits.
You see it jacked up.
Yeah, you got jacked up. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Right? That's what they were all about. That's what they sold. They don't sell it anymore. No. But you can't take it out of the game. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Edward.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
2 months away from the day of Christmas, so every day is like Christmas. Hey, Jeff, to your point, with the NFL, I don't think you'll ever eradicate serious injury. I think what they're trying to prevent is blindside hits, which I think they've done a good job of, and people launching at others. They don't want launch because it's a simple law of physics. When you launch that velocity, the force, mass, acceleration, everything that encompasses that with two individuals, those are serious, impactful plays. In the NFL, no different than that helmet example that you shared where you pulled the helmet down and it's evolved and changed. Athletes have changed. Athletes are there's a whole team of Ronnie Lott's out there now that can hit big hits. And Ronnie Lott was amazing in his era, right? Probably ahead of his time. Everybody's a Ronnie Lott now out there. And I just think they need to find a way to dissipate that energy. And I don't know what the answer is, but I think they're working on it. So that's one point. Hey, I'm very proud of both the Lobo program for their win. I think it's something they could build upon. And the Aggies to win 4 in a row. They flashed us a graphic last night, and it was the first time since 1967 that an Aggie program has won at least 6 games in consecutive seasons. And I think Jeff Symbieta was a spry 14-year-old boy back in 1967. 1967.
I just look like crap. I'm not that old.
But I digress. But I'm very proud of that program, and I think what they're doing is amazing. And Jerry Kill, it's just for the program and the funding and coming basically from shutting down their program during COVID to have a chance to go to back-to-back bowl games, I think it's stellar. Real quick on Wembanyama, my son moved to Austin earlier this year. Tonight he's going to opening game, right? So one of the benefits of living in a big city. I told him, go to the game. Yeah. I mean, it might be an all-time legendary performance, his first game, right? And then I told him, spend a couple $100 and go to the dang World Series. I think it's great for 100%. Major League Baseball. Drive 2 hours north.
Send him a couple bucks, Dad.
Go to the dang World
Send
Series,
him a couple bucks, Pop. So, holy smokes, sponsor it for him. Send him a couple bucks.
Maybe I will.
With all the
stacks
of money,
I got the alligator arm sometimes when it comes to spending my money on
with
other
all
people,
the stacks of money you got, I mean, dip into your bag and throw your kid a couple of dollars and sponsor it for him. Yeah.
But last point, not real quick, but last point. Jokic is amazing. They consider AD one of the best players in the league. He completely took him apart. There's nothing you can do with Jokic when he gets the ball in the post. There's nothing you can do.
Best player.
And his skill set is amazing, and he should be vying for his 4th straight MVP. It's impressive, and I enjoy watching it. Have a delightful day, guys.
So, yeah, I mean, sponsor your kid to go to the World Series, right? If it's and he's right, by the way. If it is that big of an experience, and it is, StubHub.
You're not getting in for a couple $100 though.
In Arlington?
No chance.
What are like the cheap seats going for?
I haven't looked because I have that.
Was it game 3, 4?
They're 1, 2, and 6, 7 in Arlington. So both weekends. I think it's starting about $300 to get in. When you talk about fees.
Wait. 1, 2, and 6, 7. Is it 2, 3, 2?
Yeah.
In the World Series?
Yes.
I always thought the World Series went back to 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, but I'm wrong. Okay, so 1, 2, and 6, 7. Well, 6, 7 is going to be tough. So 2 is probably your best bet, right? That's Saturday?
Yep.
2 is probably going to be the cheapest ticket. It's up against college football. It's in Texas. It's game 2, right?
Let's see how much it is right
now. All right, if you can give me in. All right, when we come back, when do you want to do Red Zone? 8:30?
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, what one former college quarterback turned analyst on one of the major networks is talking about the guy who's got $230 million guaranteed. And the analogy he made, is there an incentive for Deshaun Watson to play football? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and tomorrow night football.
This report is sponsored by
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times.
What's the incentive? Deshaun Watson's got $230 million. He's not playing. The word is there's a rotator cuff issue with Deshaun Watson, the Browns quarterback. Former Browns quarterback. It's hard to say former Browns quarterback because you're like, okay,
Right. Who?
spin the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not eliminating many people by
It's
saying
like, I mean, there's everybody who's ever played the game, right? This one is Brady Quinn. It's hard for me to call him former Browns. He's former Notre Dame quarterback who had a cup of coffee with the Browns, is now on Fox. Is that fair?
Yes.
All right. Brady Quinn, remember him? He was on Fox Radio. Quote on this is Brady Quinn on Deshaun Watson. Everyone with a medical opinion has cleared Deshaun Watson. The situation is almost similar to a kid getting a $230 million trust fund. You ask them to get a job, they got no incentive to do it. End quote. Is that fair? Deshaun Watson's private quarterback coach responded. He was on the Twitter or the X to Brady Quinn. Quote, Brady, I'm going to be real. You don't know what the bleep you're talking about. And sit behind a microphone gossiping like a little high school chick, end quote. The word came out that he's not clear. Well, he could play. He's got a rotator cuff issue. I don't believe it to be torn. What do you think of the analogy? Here's $230 million. There's no incentive for you to go do anything.
I think a lot of people are going to feel that way about Deshaun Watson. He's an unlikable character. He got paid the biggest guaranteed contract we've seen in NFL to play quarterback, and he's not playing it, and he hasn't been good when he was playing.
And the Cleveland Browns did this to themselves.
And the Browns' messaging hasn't been great. When that first game he didn't play, and the story came out, oh, well, he was cleared by our doctors. Why would you do that? Because all you're doing is open up a can of worms that's already leaking at the bottom.
Yeah. Yep. No, you threw your own guy out there.
And now everyone thinks he's soft, and that's why you get people like Brady Quinn going, yeah, I believe that. I think this dude's jaking it.
$230 million. This is so you've been an advocate for guaranteed contracts, and I understand why, right? You guarantee a guy $230 million. I mean, look, you want to be good because you got pride, right? You want to be remembered. You want to be able to walk down the street with your head held high. You want to be the guy. The worst case scenario is, well, man, I stink, but I got $230 million of your dollars. Yep. I mean, you and I have said it how many times? I'll work for a year. You don't ever have to see me again. I'm gone. I'll shut up. You don't need me. I'll work for 1 year. Oh, I made $35 million. I'm gone. Right? What's the incentive? You want to be great. Well, some guys just aren't that. And I'm not telling you he is or is not. But, all right, I got this. Aggies won last night, and we're going to do Red Zone here at the bottom of the hour at 8:30. Aggies won 27-24. They're 6-3. They won 4 in a row for the first time since 2002. I got this yesterday at the very end of the show. We didn't get it in. So, Jeff, you play the what if game on Pavia. Somebody, and it wasn't me, somebody sent an email yesterday. Said, is Diego Pavia going to go in the transfer portal, and is Jerry Kill gone, and if they keep winning and whatever. And it says, so you play the transfer game. What if Pavia could transfer to San Diego State? In fact, if Brady Hoke gets fired, Jerry Kill, Diego Pavia, and a host of those skill position players at New Mexico State could wind up at San Diego State. I guess anything can happen, right? I guess anything can happen. And then I got this one. This is from Lars, JJ. It says, NMSU. You better hope the Aggies don't win too many more, Hefe. They're going to play themselves into a better bowl game than your game. It's from Lars. And I guess, Lars, I need clarification. What is the Rose Bowl knocking down their door? Is the Fiesta Bowl coming? What's a better bowl game? This is one of those that I fought for 18 years, and I'll continue to fight it. And it's the New Mexico deal, not the New Mexico Bowl thing. If it's in New Mexico, it's not very good, right? If they go to the 68 Ventures Bowl in Mobile, or they go to the Cure Bowl, or if they go to the Frisco Bowl, or if they go to the Bahamas Bowl, are those better bowls than the New Mexico Bowl? Explain to me why those bowls are better in your mind, Lars, than the Isleta New Mexico Bowl. I'm listening. I need to understand because I don't. I'm in my bubble. The Alamo Bowl's not calling, I promise. The Rose Bowl's not calling, not this year. pretty sure the Cotton Bowl's full. The Sugar Bowl's got tie-ins. Explain to me why the New Orleans Bowl or the 68 Ventures Bowl hit me. Help me understand it because I don't. Is it because it's in New Mexico it's not very good? I've fought this for 18 years, and I've told you this. I go to these meetings. I go to league meetings. I sit with people in the industry. Our reputation, ours, as a bowl game, outside of the state is so much better than it is inside the state. Like in the industry, the coaches, the people who have been to the game, have so much more respect than like someone like Lars. So Lars, I need you to explain to me what better, and that's your words, not mine. You type the word better bowl than your game. Which better bowl game than ours are they going to? What's a better bowl game? They can't go to the Arizona game. I know that people told me that was a better bowl game. They're broadcast on Barstool and they play on I love Cam Adair. She's great and they got a great bowl game. But what makes them better than ours? And Lars, I'll wait for it. Explain to me what makes them better.
They're in Arizona.
Is that what it is? Because if it's in New Mexico, it can't be good? The way we treat people is second to none. The experience that the student athletes get here is well above industry standard. I just the Lars email that I just got, and I get it way less, JJ, but it tends obviously more this time of year, right, as we're getting closer. But I battled this for the last 18 years, and we built a reputation, and what we do, I'll put what we do. There's a reason I got elected to the executive committee. There's a reason people come to me and ask for advice, as do I to others, right? But when I sit at a table with the Rose Bowl and Kevin Ash and Jeff Huntley, who runs the Sugar Bowl, and those guys, and I belong at that table and we have conversations. It's not just me listening all the time. They listen to what I have to say too. Like there's a reason that we've been here for coming up on 2 decades. So yeah, I'm defensive on this, and you'll understand why. But Lars, explain to me what a better bowl game is that the Aggies have an opportunity for. I'm totally curious to what your email means. But I think
we'll be waiting.
No, when you hear that, what do you think?
It's just New Mexico.
So it's just it can't be good if it's in New Mexico.
The attitude I get from comments like that.
Okay. Man, I don't know. It's Saturday afternoon. It's in the middle of it's like a great TV slot on ESPN. I don't.
If you're New Mexico State,
yeah,
you are keeping your fingers crossed if you're bowl eligible that they get to come up and play in Isleta New Mexico Bowl and not end up in Alabama or somewhere else, because you can spin this as we finally did it. This crowd is going to be insane with Aggie fans.
You'll have a good matchup.
You're going to have a good opponent on the other side. So the whole it's just in New Mexico or they're going to get better than the New Mexico mindset, I don't get it.
No, I just help me understand the better bowl game scenario. I don't understand it. I understand that I'm in the bubble and yeah, I'm close to it. And do I get a little defensive with it? Yeah, I do a bit. But I don't understand where this we're going to a better bowl game things. Or you need to help me understand it. Frank, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
I understand you being offended. Here's how it is, Jeff. They're college kids. This kid grew up with green chili in his mouth. You want something different, something unique. I mean, not just down the highway where you piss on the field. You want something. That's the experience, is to get out of the state. I mean, I'm so jealous of these kids doing that kind of stuff. That's the coolest thing about being a college athlete, getting out of town, man. I've been going to the Lobo games the last few weeks, and I bought my tickets for UNLV. I buy general admission. I sit on the 8th row on the 50-yard line. I'll be at the New Mexico Bowl. I don't want New Mexico State there. I want someone else. Let these kids get out of state, do something different. Not better, different.
Appreciate you, Frank. Thank you. I get that. I totally get that.
Different is and going to a bowl game. They did that last year.
Yeah,
Detroit.
Yeah,
but to me, it's not necessarily them not being able to get out of New Mexico, because there's not a bunch of New Mexico kids on the Aggies roster. It's the experience of you get to stay in state and play, and that's going to be an atmosphere that is all year crowd. If the Aggies get bowl eligible, and if
could be a hell of a party, man. It could be a hell of a party. It's kind of funny. I've been doing this 18 years, and I've wanted New Mexico State in this game. right? I mean, I have. And at some point, I got to believe it's going to happen. And did I want them the year they went to Arizona? Yeah, I did. I wanted to throw that first party. It didn't work out that year. They had a contract with the Arizona Bowl, and there were other commitments. I'm not mad. I don't think they are. Right? It worked out really well for them. It worked out, and then last year it just didn't work out. Some year I want to throw that party. But this whole we're better than that game, or we're going to go to a better game. Like, you need to explain that to me. Which one? I mean, yeah, I'll give you the Rose Bowl. Yeah, that's a hell of a. If you get in, like I'll buy a ticket. I'll go, man. That'll be great. Are you want to do Red Zone when we come back? NFL stuff. Top of the, what do you got out of the Red Zone? Oh, trade deadline stuff. What are they going to do at quarterback? Who's your favorite receivers? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
Beware of a roofing company with the lowest bid. Ask to see.
Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point there.
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson. Sliding, they slid out of going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that? Ethan Olguin. My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo. Unbelievable, this man. Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto made one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
That's Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
That's Sweet Pete Jr. right
What
there.
a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block. Bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
Happy with his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line. That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vincente Tafoya. Ryan Brown had punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it
right
pay.
back.
No! LaQueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder. Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line.
Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
News on Washington State, Oregon State, and the Mountain West, and what that might be moving forward. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buck, and DC. We'll open up the football's week, the NFL week next tomorrow. Next day? The next day. Freaking tomorrow. Buccaneers and Bills tomorrow here on The Sports Animal. And with that, DC has prepared this in the red zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
If you have two quarterbacks, you have what? Coach Mike Vrabel said that if Ryan Tannehill can't play on Sunday, quote, I would anticipate both of those quarterbacks playing in a football game. Those quarterbacks being Malik Willis and Will Levis. So unpack that statement for me. That was ultimate coach speak. What do you expect the Titans to actually do at quarterback position this weekend and moving forward?
I think they're going to start Will Levis, and I think you're going to see both of them play, and he probably goes with the hot hand, and I think he uses this week and potentially next week to see who's got the upper hand. He's probably got an idea in his head who's got the upper hand in practice, and he's going to run these two guys out there that they picked in the second round of the last two drafts. And I'm going to expect Will Levis gets more time because they saw a lot of Malik Willis last year and they realized what they didn't have last year. And I'm going to expect you get Will Levis gets his chance to see if he's an NFL quarterback over the next few weeks.
You can't play two guys. You can't rotate guys in the NFL. This isn't college football. You can't get away with that at the NFL level. You're not going to get in a rhythm. You're not going to get confidence. You're not going to know anything.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to
by
that.
playing Will Levis for a series and Malik Willis for a series. It's not how that league works. And if that's what you have, you are admitting to the world, we got it wrong on both these guys, which is ridiculous. You got to let them play. If you have a young quarterback, you got to let them play.
Them or him?
Him, Mike Vrabel.
No. But I mean, you got to let him play or got to let them
One
play?
of them.
Right.
Pick
That's
one.
what I think. I think it's going to be
don't
Will Levis.
rotate.
I think he's going to find out what he's got with Will Levis. I think they know what they got with Malik Willis.
So Malik Willis really has not gotten any better. That's what he's telling the world.
Well, and if he hasn't gotten any better, then you swung and missed, man. If that, because didn't they run a game last year in the NFL where we threw like 4 passes?
Yes.
Okay. I got an NFL quarterback who with an active arm, not the 49ers in a playoff game, right? I got a guy who physically can throw the ball, but I won't let him throw the ball, and I'm in the NFL. Then swing and a miss, man. Let me get the next guy.
But then how is it still at the point where they're having this discussion where Malik Willis has been the backup? Malik Willis is
Maybe he
play.
got better. That's what we're going to find out. I think you got to give Will Levis the shot.
Second and goal.
Ready, down, put.
All right, let's have some fun. Will Kirk Cousins get traded before the deadline? Just joking, JJ. That was plain silly.
No!
Yeah, I just love his reaction every time he brought that up. But really, we're less than a week away from the trade deadline, and names like Jerry Jeudy, Derrick Henry, and Pat Surtain too are still all over the rumor mill. So do you guys see any of these big names moving before the Halloween deadline? If so, who moves and what teams are most active?
Jerry Jeudy is a name that makes sense to move for me. He's a wide receiver too, kind of underperforming. You could probably get mid-round value out of it. Jerry Jeudy, third-round pick at this point in time. I don't think trading Pat Surtain makes any sense for the Broncos. You have to have some foundational pieces still moving forward. You can't just trade away all your good players and think, well, wow, we have a bunch of mid-round draft picks. We're going to be awesome moving forward. And Derrick Henry is the second-round pick get it done. It feels like Tennessee would value him higher than that, and I don't want to trade a first-round pick just for a running back to make a run with, because I don't view Derrick Henry in the class as Christian McCaffrey, where I know I'm getting a couple years of service out of him. So it's Jerry Jeudy makes sense. You know what name to throw out there? Someone save Hunter Renfrow. You need some production. Get that dude out of Las Vegas.
So those are the kind of names. First of all, no on Kirk Cousins, and I don't know that you're going to see a big name. The biggest name might be Jerry Jeudy. And I don't know how big of a name that is, but when you're getting into the Hunter Renfrows, a number 3 receiver, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Rashad Penny, guys that are going to be pieces somewhere, you may see those sorts of things. Zach Ertz might even move, right? Something along those lines. But I don't
went on the IR.
Yeah, but is he done then? Yeah. Okay. I just don't see big names moving. I see some moves, and you might even see volume of moves. I think the biggest trade probably happened with the Eagles the other day. I thought that was a big move that they strengthened their secondary, but I don't know that I see gigantic names going.
Third and goal.
The AFC North is the only division in the NFL right now without a team that has a losing record. The Steelers are at home this weekend, while the Bengals, Ravens, and Browns are all on the road. So tell us your prediction for how this weekend plays out for these teams and what the AFC North looks like after Week 8.
All right, AFC North. The Browns got a tough one on the road in Seattle, right? They're going up. They go up there. Here's my deal. I think this is the toughest game for me on the board this week because I don't trust the Browns at quarterback, but I'm not sure I trust Geno right now. Geno's not been good, right? And so I think the 49ers get right and beat the Bengals. I don't think they blow them out, but I think the Bengals get beat. Ravens beat the Cardinals. The Browns get beat by Seattle. Who do the Steelers get?
Jaguars.
Where's that?
In Pittsburgh.
Jaguars get beat. I'm sorry. Jaguars beat Seattle. The Steelers. So the winners are the Bengals. And
the Bengals over 49ers.
No, that's who do I got winning. Who do I got? Any of them winning?
Raven.
I got the Ravens winning. I got the Ravens the only one winning this week. Yeah. Well, that was a long way to say that.
I think it's a 2-2 week. I would pick Baltimore in Arizona, and to me, it's tough between the Browns and Steelers. That is, man, because the Browns play wonky games with PJ Walker as their quarterback, and they can win that game against Seattle.
Or they could
lose
I
think it's gonna, or they could lose it. But I don't know, there's something about the Browns, man, with what they do defensively. But I think when it's all said and done, it will be the Ravens and Steelers with the wins of those four.
Fourth and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, this was great. Yesterday on the Insiders on NFL Network, Tom Pelissero asked Jerry Rice who his favorite receivers are right now. So Rice then fired off an all-time awesome answer when he listed Deebo Samuels, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle as 1, 2, and 3. He later named a few others, but I was just simply laughing too hard.
They all got to be Niners?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just ultimate homer. Gotta love it. So I'm going to ask you guys the same question. Who are your favorite pass catchers in the NFL right now?
Tyreek Hill. It's unbelievable to watch that dude just make NFL defenders look like a bunch of high schoolers on a football field and always be open.
Did I give it 4? Tyreek Hill's a good one. It is. And I love dudes like Devontae Adams and those guys, but I'm loving me some Puka Nacua. Just love how he gets open, how he's become something so quick. Love me some Cooper Kupp. I am a gigantic fan of Jordan Addison. Love the way he just has jumped on the scene. The play he made right before the half on Monday night was spectacular. And I'm really kind of starting to like the Lions tight end, Sam Laporta. I'm not ready to say he's one of the best tight ends in the league yet, but I think he's on his way to being a high-end pass-catching tight end. I just love his physicality, the way he gets open, and the way that Jared Goff has trusted him. So what do I give you 3 rookies?
How many of these guys are in your fantasy football team?
A few of them.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
a few of them. I mean, it's Travis Kelce, right? Like if you're asking me, give me a pass catcher that amazes me. He amazes me every damn week. Because he is open all the freaking time. I'm not a defensive coordinator, okay? I'm a guy who screams into a microphone on a daily basis. But if I'm game planning against the Kansas City Chiefs, I've got someone on 87.
Yeah, Travis Kelce to me is amazing. The way he plays, it's just so unique. I love watching him play, and I don't like the Chiefs. And then so it moves me on to Tyreek Hill, who, just like JJ said, he is just a man amongst boys. That dude gets one step and he is gone. I love that.
I'll give you another one who's on my fantasy team. Adam Thielen.
Oh,
how does that keep happening?
Yeah, what a comeback.
Yeah, how does that keep happening?
I actually did draft him because I kind of saw him having a lot of opportunities. But yeah, no, he's looking great too.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, there's some news this morning. What's the date on this? Is this morning? 6:03 this morning. Or is that yesterday? I guess it's yesterday. We haven't talked about this yet. Some news with Washington State, Oregon State, scheduling football, Mountain West, what it could mean. And I'm not sure how I think it works, but it's interesting. Give you the latest on that when we return. Hey, for years I've been telling you about IPS, offering standing guards, 24-hour patrols to protect your home and business. What you might not know is IPS also installs home alarms. They've been doing it for a number of years now, but they want to remind you, if you don't have an alarm in Albuquerque, you are much more likely to be a victim of a break-in. The IPS technology team also installs video cameras to record criminals who vandalize or steal company or home property, and that video will help the police in the investigation. When a bad guy sees surveillance, it discourages criminal activity. IPS can set up your business or home with access control, so the only people who get in are authorized to get into the home or the facility. Sign up and have IPS monitor your alarm and your cameras, and when they see something on the alarm or it goes off, they're there within 7 minutes before you have problems. IPS provides the manpower and the technology to protect you, your family, and your property. It's a winning combination. Call them at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. Go to ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife.
And the two-pack, Oregon State and Washington State, are evidently in a conversation for a scheduling alliance for the next 2 years. And what does it mean that there's a couple different models where Oregon State and Washington State will play 7 or 6 or 8 games against Mountain West teams? Maybe they'll count towards the conference, maybe they won't. But Gigi, I look at it. Doesn't everybody already have their schedules done, like their non-conference schedule? I get would it take away one conference game for the Mountain West, so you play one less traditional Mountain West team, and you play in Oregon State or Washington State? Because everybody's got their contract, right? Like the Lobos play New Mexico State, and they play. I think UMass comes here next year, and you got your contracts. And no, where are they going? They got a money game next year. Where are they going? Going to SC next year or something?
But I think the UMass series is done.
Okay, all right. But that's out there, and just we'll see where it goes. All right, 505-246-0610. Sean, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Sean.
Hey, good morning. I was just calling about, bowl games in general, and you're absolutely right. When people call in, and this has been a knock on the New Mexico Bowl since 2006. I was at that game. I got to watch, the Lobos lose. It was wonderful. Look, when it comes to bowl games and honestly success in general for UNM and NMSU, I think people's expectations, we're sitting here comparing, NMSU is 6-3, but look who they've played. Okay, fair. But we're also not Alabama. We don't have the money that Notre Dame has here.
That's right.
When it comes to football, you want to get bowl eligible. That's the goal. When it comes to basketball, Sweet 16 should be the goal. We are mid-major schools. And so New Mexico is constantly in the state of, we don't have anything nice here, blah, blah, blah. Well, you don't support the nice things we have in the first place to make things better. It's mind-blowing. But, we've had 2 chances to get NMSU into the New Mexico Bowl. Hasn't happened yet. Let's make it happen, Jeff.
Appreciate you, Sean. Thank you. And let's make the things we have nice, right? What did Taylor Swift say? This is why we can't have nice things, right? Let's make the things we have nice, because actually they are pretty nice. Keep it coming. I got 2 lines open for you, 505-246-0610. I got a Jason email, got a response to the Aggies win last night. Lars has responded. He told me what he means by better. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets. because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, you got a World Series that is set. You got the Rangers and the Diamondbacks, just like you thought. We got interesting stuff happening in college football. Aggies win last night. Aggies were winners in Ruston, Louisiana, 27-24. They're 6-3. Jim sent me a text, JJ. It says if the Lobos win on Saturday, both the Lobos and the Aggies will be 500 or better going into November. Is that the first time ever? It could be, right?
It's possible.
I mean, it's been a minute now. It's been a minute. But that's something that's possible. I got an email earlier from Lars. Says, you better hope the Aggies don't win too many more games, Hefe. They're going to play themselves into a better bowl than your game. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, what is define better? You know, is it because we're in Albuquerque, we're in New Mexico, it's not good? And he said, well, for example, last year the Detroit Bowl was one of only two games in that critical 12-24 to 12-26 window. Instead of one of 5 or 6 games in one day, the entire football-hungry world was watching at MSU. They did have the TV window to themselves. They did. They played on the afternoon after Christmas, right? So look, I tell you all the time, there's a lot of metrics.
What were the ratings?
They were pretty good. Mm-hmm. They were pretty good. There's a lot of metrics to define success. And, I mean, people watch the game. I'm not telling you that the Quick Lane Bowl is a bad game. I'm telling you that I don't think that they're a better game than ours. Right? And so metrics, did they sell more tickets? You know, more of their fans able to go to Detroit than here? Well, that's a metric. Did more people watch the game there than would have watched this one? There's a lot of them. I'm not telling you that's a bad game. I'm telling you, I disagree with you when you sit there and tell me that's a better game. And by the way, they didn't play into it. With all due respect, we had a pretty good matchup last year too. BYU and SMU on primetime on ABC. I don't know, man. Our game was a primetime on ABC last year. That feels like there's pretty good respect from the college football world to put our game on primetime on ABC on Saturday night, right? And get BYU and SMU. And again, I'm not belittling anybody else's game. The game in Detroit, Brad and that team do a great job. But I just don't understand this whole, well, they're going to play into a better game. What's a better game?
Saturday night primetime football is pretty good.
I don't know.
As opposed to being, Monday where people probably off. 12:30, cool.
Yeah, that's all. Again, not saying that there's not a great game. They're a really good game. Lobo Hobo says, better than NMSU, ? Jeff, what do you think about these Lobo fans that are claiming that they beat UMass in Hawaii, who are victorious over Jerry's guys, so Lobo football is better than the Aggies, regardless of head-to-head? Look, talk, man. That's what rivalries are. They played it out on the field. One team won, one team lost. Go. I mean, that's what rivalries are for. Talk. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How are you, Rudy?
I'm doing good. You know, I don't think, and maybe JJ can check this because he's the master at statistics, was this the first time in the history of a playoff where the home team didn't win one single game?
So I was told it happened one other time. I asked that question earlier, and I was told it happened one other time, that in a 7-game series, that it like 18 or 19, something like that.
I can't remember that. I mean, it's almost mind blowing, And then you have the Diamondbacks go into literally hell. I mean, that is hell. That place is raucous. People are screaming. Did you see some of the fans at Philly? And they don't quit. I'll give the Philly fans that much credit. They didn't quit even when it got 10-3. They were still hoping for a comeback. So to go in there and do that, congratulations to the Diamondbacks. They earned it. I was a little sad for the Astros. I really like Alex Bregman. I think he's a heck of a player, and so is Altuve. And that was my team when I was a kid. I used to have an Astros cap. Switching gears.
Hey, hold on. I got your answer for you. So 2019 World Series was the first best-of-7 postseason series in any of the North American major sports where the visiting team won all 7 games. 2019 World Series. Okay.
Okay. Well, there you go. I missed that one. Oregon State and Washington State aren't really in a position to do much. Their best path is joining the Mountain West, but they just can't get it through their thick head that that's their best path. They're trying to take the absurd position that because the other Pac-12 teams left, they get to keep all the assets. You think that's going to work, Jeff?
It might, actually. I think it might.
No, I can't. They have to vote, and none of the teams that are left in the Pac-12 are going to vote for Oregon State and Washington State getting that financial windfall. They're all going to vote because it's equal. I mean, it's an absurd position. I really think that at the end of the day, what they hope to do is take that position, get that money, peel off Mountain West teams, and form a new Pac-12. And that's just logistically, I think, going to be very difficult, if not impossible, to pull off.
Well, it's going to once the current grant of rights is up, and then we'll see. There'll probably be another move again. Once the current TV deal in the Mountain West is up, you might see some movement.
Yeah, you might, but that's 2 years, isn't it?
I believe so. No, I think the Mountain West is probably a little bit more than that.
So Oregon State and Washington State are going to try to play as an independent for 2 years?
Good luck with that. Well, or call themselves a conference, and that's where I don't understand it, JJ. So how do you take this? And Rudy, thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Sure.
How do you take that? So they trying to say that there's still a league, the Pac-2 or the 2-Pac or whatever, and that you got to be 7 teams in a league to be one of these automatic qualifying in basketball, right? I'm not sure what their long-term plan is, kind of what I'm saying at.
I think they are trying to play multiple games in terms of let's hold out for this. Let's try to, as Rudy said, peel teams away before merger. They want to keep that branding. They want to keep the money, the assets that are involved with that. I do not know how they get by just being 2 schools that, hey, we're going to put the Pac-12 on hold, but maybe we'll just be like independents. Like, what does it mean for everything else?
No. Dan, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Dan.
How you guys doing today?
Good. What's happening?
Yeah, I was hoping you guys would be talking about the Diamondbacks and Rangers.
Pretty special.
And the fact you should talk about the Albuquerque folks that actually played for Houston, Bregman, and then the guy that was with the Lobos. It's
Mitch Garver. Mitch Garver.
Yeah, Mitch Garver, which I think that's great that he represents the Lobos, and I'm happy that Bregman, even though I don't like the Astros, I'm happy that he's from here and puts New Mexico on the map, both those guys.
No doubt, and they both had great series. It was fun to watch them both get big hits and key moments all day, and now Mitch is going to the World Series.
Yeah, and the fun thing, Bregman is, I would put, he's very top prospect as a third baseman. That guy can hit.
And the fact is, he came up as a shortstop and basically learned to play third base in the big leagues. I remember when he was in the minors in Fresno, they were putting him out in left field. That was when the Astros were stacked, remember? And they're like, well, where are they going to put him? They picked him second overall in the draft. They had Correa at shortstop, and they're like, well, we already have a great shortstop. What are we going to do with him? And they turned him into a third baseman. He's become a hell of a third baseman.
That guy, like I said, I'm so happy that we have those 2 prospects that are on opposite teams, but at least they're representing us, which I think is great.
No
You
doubt,
have a
Dan.
good one.
All right, Dan. Not prospects anymore, by the way. Both of them are bona fide. One's a bona fide star, and the other one is a solid player in the big leagues. When you say, I mean, Alex is a star. Alex was the MVP of the All-Star game. Alex has got more postseason home runs than any third baseman in the history of baseball. He's a bona fide star, and Mitch Garver has become a solid, legitimate stud Major League Baseball player. 505-246-0610. Howard, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Howard.
Good morning, guys. I took a little offense to that, playing to a better bowl game, huh? Well, unless you experience the luncheon, the pep rallies, a Calvin Allen tailgater, God rest his soul. Yeah. Unless you've experienced that stuff and the great matchups, and that the New Mexico Bowl has afforded me the opportunity to meet Hall of Famers like Tony Dorsett, Joe Theismann, Jim Calley. The New Mexico Bowl is a top-notch bowl, and I took a little offense to that. It struck a little nerve because I'm a huge fan of your bowl, Jeff, and I support it every year. So you got people that look at it as the bowl, and that's the way I look at it. It's in my hometown. It's the bowl of the year. Thanks, man.
Thank you. No, appreciate you. Hey, if you go out and you had fun with it, it's what it's supposed to be, man. It's a highlight for our community. It everybody has a good time. I mean, I don't know. You've been to a few. I've never seen you without a smile on your face.
I have zero complaints about the bowl game, the experience. It's fun. There's no reason to overthink it.
That's right.
It's a good event.
Look, it's not the Rose Bowl, man. It's not, and you know what it is? It's the Isleta New Mexico Bowl, and that's what it's intended to be. And there's a place for that. There's a place for the Quick Lane Bowl and the famous Idaho Potato Bowl and the Barstool Arizona Bowl and the Isleta New Mexico Bowl. There's a place for that, and it does great things for the community. It does great things for the student athletes and the programs who play in it. And I mean, if your thing is just to beat up everything New Mexico, or maybe you just don't like me or you don't like the game, that's cool too. Take your shots. The people who have benefited from it seem to enjoy it, want to come back. Go ask Rich Rodriguez what he thinks. Why did he come back again? Why, you think he'd like to bring Jacksonville State back this year? Promise he would. Ask Jim McElwain. Why would he would still text me when he was at Florida. Hey, I want to bring my team back, and he did at Central Michigan. There's a reason, and I don't even know why I feel like I've got to validate what it is. It's been doing great things, and we'll continue to. And I'm looking forward to what the matchup's going to be coming up on December 16th. You getting out this year? By the way, I had hoodies. I got one for you in the car. I got one for you at the house. I picked up yours yesterday because I didn't want to bring one, just for one of you. So it's coming. But I left yours at the house today, so I didn't bring. I left his in the car. All right, keep them coming. I got a Jason email on the Aggie win last night. 505-246-0610. Also, I'm not sure how the scheduling thing works. JJ, New Mexico next year. All right, so you figure they're gonna play. Do they play at Hawaii next year? They may get 13, but next year they're playing Montana State at home on August 24 early. 2 games in August next year. August 24, Montana State. August 31 at Arizona. Then they play at Auburn next year, and they get the at New Mexico State. So where they fit in Oregon State and Washington State if they do this? Are they just is that going to be counting as a league game? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in
Montana State next year. Jack just told me they're number 2 in the FCS right now, Jeffy. The Gato Robertos aren't going to be the usual fodder of Tennessee Tech, Maine, Abilene Christian, or Houston Baptist. Now, that's a tough game to open up the season. And Lobo fans not going to realize, hey, number 2 team in FCS is pretty good. All right, I got a Jason email, and then I'll go to the phones, 505-246-0610. This came in at Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. It says, Aggies, go Aggies. Good morning, OD. I remember when one Douglas Martin would get on this fine radio program and proclaim in his southern drawl, you got to score 30 points to win at mid-major football. Last night, and this season in general, has been antithetical to that idiom. Idiom with an M, not T. Idiom. The defense, funny. The defense has been the strength of this team after the opener, and not enough credit is given to them. By the way, the defense has a New Mexico kid from Chris Berman shtick, Volcano Vista. Since Sebastian Noel was on, I'm going to throw out this stat. The Aggies have as many New Mexico kids in their 2-deep depth chart this week as the KOF flagship U of the 505. The Aggie defense is athletic, fast, physical, and play angry. You saw last night what makes Coach Kill a great CEO of a program when Malachi McClain had an untimely penalty. Kill ripped into him. But as the seconds ticked down, he was able to find McClain and make sure that McClain, who was having a nice game, was aware that he was a big part of why the defense played well. Yes, Kill may find his way to a bigger program, but he may also not. So while he's here, I and every Aggie fan is going to enjoy the ride because we've seen the other side. I'm actually more worried about Tim Beck and Nate Dreiling being plucked off of his staff. Crimsonally, Jason. P.S. I'll be waiting with bated breath for the, well, who have they beaten text. But before you send it, just remember, you were celebrating a home victory over a program that has not won a conference road game or game in general since 2021. I'll take a quote from some Lobo coach. Quote, it's hard to win a game in Division I football, end quote. A win is a win. Celebrate them. It's better than a loss. Thank you, Jason. It's a good, solid day after a win email from Jason.
At some point, too, I hope we move on from the New Mexico kid stuff and just let dudes play. If they decide to wear a Lobo jersey, if they decide to wear an Aggie jersey, so be it.
Yeah, but there's always going to be a pride. But the kids from here, there's always going to be that. I don't ever want to lose that, to be honest.
I don't want to lose that, but we're not missing out on things. We're not. And if kids, if you feel it's a slight that some of these kids are only given walk-on opportunities, okay, I'm sorry about that, but you still got to go earn it. Like, you still got to find your way onto the field. And I am with Jason. Even with the Aggies getting to a bowl game last year, however they did it, they won the bowl game. The who have you beaten stuff, I'm going to hold off on that for a while. That is not fodder. That is not a good topic for conversation. We're not there yet with Division I football in the state of New Mexico.
Well, I think for both of these programs, as you're beating the teams you're beating teams that were beating you. Right?
Yes.
You're beating teams who were beating you. That's how you take steps. Jay, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Jay.
How's it going, gentlemen? How y'all living?
Good. How you living?
Chubby, fat,
love that.
Overweight, big overweight.
Yeah, you keep eating.
So, anyway, gentlemen, I wanted to get on with. Thank you. First of all, thanks for taking my call. But I wanted to get on about the New Mexico Bowl. And as somebody who has gone to your game, and as somebody who has a relative that has played in your game, what people don't understand is the student-athlete experience in that bowl game is unmatched. And a lot of times when we, quote-unquote, say, oh, that's a lesser bowl game or that's a lesser bowl game, it's not necessarily about you or me. It's about the student-athlete that has earned that right to play in that bowl game. And anytime you speak with a student, and you do this, Jeff, and the thing that I appreciate most about you, Jeff, is you don't really blow or toot your own horn a lot about these things. But if you speak to any of these people who say it's just the New Mexico Bowl, actually goes and finds a student athlete that has played in your game, they are so appreciative of the experience at the New Mexico Bowl. And if you speak to their families, this is the best thing about the bowl game, is that being where it is, the window where it is, it allows kids who have been away from home since June, 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, to actually have a holiday season with their family, because they get to go home after the game. They get to actually have a holiday break like their peers at their particular school. Yeah. When you have a bowl game on the 28th of December, you got to be at you're on campus where nobody's on campus. You're spending Christmas usually with your teammates, which become your family, absolutely.
Yep.
But nothing beats hanging out with mom and dad. Especially when you're older and you get, you you understand that you're a different person when you're away. You appreciate home a little more.
Yeah, and I appreciate it now.
And Jeff, like I said, as somebody who has a family or had a family member who played in your bowl game, thank you. Thank you from him, and thank you from his family.
That means a lot to me. Thank you, Jay, and I appreciate you. I asked this question a lot about a lot of things. For whom are we doing this, right? Who's it for? Is it for the community? Yeah, it is. Is it for the fans here? Yeah, it is. Is it for our sponsors and our board? Yeah, it is. Is it for the student athletes? Yeah. And I'll tell you, our number one goal and our mission is it's all in there, right? It's to put on a first-class event for our community and for the student athletes and coaches and families who participate, okay? And I appreciate him saying that. I'm going to tell you a quick story. And this is one that hit me. And you guys, I'm proud of I'm proud of the event we've created. I am. But every once in a while, you get something like this. So I was on a bowl season, which is the Bowl Association, on an executive committee call. This is about a month ago. I actually haven't told either one of you guys this. So there were two guys that were going to come on that are with the NFL, and they want to do a program that they want to come out to bowl games and have a session with the student athletes and educate them about leaving school early to go into the NFL and just kind of from the NFL's perspective. And I thought it was a really good program. The guys come on and they introduce themselves, and one of the gentlemen who's working for the NFL, they both introduced themselves and said where they played, and he says, I went to school. I played at Temple, and I played in the New Mexico Bowl. And Jeff, it's great to see you. I want you to know what a great time we had. It still is one of the highlights of my college career. Okay, and I'm not going to pretend I remember that young man. I don't. But what that meant to me was, and he didn't have to say that, and I just, the impact that you make, and again, for whom are we doing this? And you don't know the impact you make. Like Jay, I didn't know he had a relative in the game. I walk all week, man. I interact with the student athletes. I'm in the gift suites. I'm in the meeting rooms. I go to practices, and the response that we get from the student athletes and the coaches is how we judge what we do, right? I'm not telling you we're the Rose Bowl, man. I'm telling you, and I've told JJ, you've heard me tell you this for years. We got to treat you like we're in the Rose Bowl, because the Rose Bowl can have an off year. I can't, right? Like we're the Ysleta New Mexico Bowl, and I'm proud to be that. And there's a place for that, and it does great things for the student athletes in the community. And so that's why I asked the question, Lars. When you tell me they're going to play into a better bowl, explain to me what better means. Okay, so they played on Tuesday afternoon after Christmas. That made them better than playing on primetime on ABC. Okay. I mean, if that's what you think is better, cool. But, and that doesn't mean that the Quick Lane Bowl isn't a really good game. They are. And again, Brad and Tamara and that staff do a great job. Detroit's a wonderful city. All these bowls are great. I mean, we sit around, this is what we do all year, to put on an experience for the student athletes and for the community. So, Jay, I appreciate that. But, look, wherever they go, whichever game, you know who told me this? Remember Gary Patterson told me this once. He said, I've never been to a bad bowl game. Gary Patterson told me that. Gary Patterson told me a number of things that just really stick in my mind. But he said, never been to a bad bowl game. And, we're not going to be that one. So appreciate the kind words. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. 76ers open the season tomorrow. Look who's back. Back again. Look who's back. Tell a friend. And a former NBA star, I think he's a former, has sexual assault and battery allegations filed against him. What does he have to say about it? It's a big name. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. You're home for Sunday night, Monday night, and tomorrow night football.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium.
Asked the court to dismiss the civil lawsuit that he's facing in Georgia. ESPN got the documents, said Monday that he engaged in consensual sexual activity with a man named Stephen Harper. Back in July of 2021, there was an encounter at Howard's residence. Howard denied that he caused any injury to Harper. The original complaint was filed back in July where Harper, the other gentleman, whose lawyers said he and Howard first began corresponding over direct messages on Instagram back in May of 2021. Harper initiated the exchange. Harper accused Howard of sexually assaulting him at Howard's home during an encounter. Stay tuned. Sounds uncomfortable to me. James Harden's back. Sixers open the season tomorrow. James Harden rejoined his teammates for practice Wednesday. That would be today. Is that today? What day is today? Was it Wednesday? Oh, it is. Skip practice Monday. What do you do with him? So now you're the coach. He's on your roster. What do you do with him? What do you do with James Harden now? He's on your roster. What do you do? How do you play him? He's been asking for a trade since he opted into his $35.5 million player option. On Friday, they said he was away from the team on a personal matter. I mean, I don't know. You've been going through camp. You've been training. You've been practicing. What do you do with him? He said things could not get patched up. He's showing up so he gets paid, right? I mean, that's why he's there. He's probably going to ask just to, deactivate me. If I got $35.5 million on the line, I'm showing up to work too, aren't you? No matter how uncomfortable the situation is, I want to be there. I want my money. That's why I opted in. I opted in for $36.5 million. So, all right, emails on Hank Bachmeier, the quarterback last night. Jack says, Jeff, you could see last night why he's no longer playing on the blue for Boise State. And he was just coming back off the injury too, right? He was out for a month, but he was Louisiana Tech's quarterback. Dan's in on the Nuggets, DC. Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and David Colton. It's a new one, right? Yesterday was weird. All I heard about was that guy in the Lakers. But weren't the Nuggets, the clubs, coming down the ramp wearing the championship belt? Yeah. That's how it is, man. And I don't know that it's ever going to be different as long as that guy is wearing purple and gold. Yeah, the Nuggets are the champions. The Nuggets are the ones who got the rings. The Nuggets are the ones who got the banner raised. And you're right. All anybody talked about was that guy because, with all due respect to the champs, and you can tell me, and you would be right, that the guy wearing the Nuggets jersey is the best player in the world. Who are the biggest stars? Who's a bigger star? LeBron James or Nikola Jokic? Not who's a better player, who's got bigger star appeal.
There's nothing wrong with talking about LeBron James.
Who's got bigger star appeal, Anthony Davis or Nikola Jokic?
Jokic.
You think he resonates more with regular NBA fan?
Yep. Regular NBA fan right now, yep.
He should. I'm not sure I totally think you're right, but I think he should. I think he's better. I think he's more accomplished. I think he's... yes, except for who does NBA fan want to see more?
It's. I understand the frustrations when fan bases get in their own feelings about things. But you're going to talk about the Cowboys a little bit more here or then. You're going to talk about the Lakers a little bit here or more. Part of the conversation.
Well, I think, I don't know, man. Who draws better?
I think everyone knows Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the Lakers. But I think Jokic just passed AD in the talking point.
He should have. I hope he has. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I want to hit this NFL thing. There were a number of bad calls at the end of games last week, right? And what was it, about 2 years ago, JJ? Every day we came in on Monday, every week, we were talking about officiating, right? It got really bad for a minute. The Rams game was decided that way. The Colts-Browns game was decided that way. There were a number of calls. And we had for 1 year where you could challenge pass interference or not pass interference. I was coming off of when the Rams and Saints had that horrible non-call at the end of the NFC Championship game, but the Rams in the Super Bowl. Well, Jim Irsay is the Colts owner, and he wants to make a drastic rule change in the NFL. His team got burned on this the other day. Irsay said the NFL this week admitted that the crew working his game botched two key calls. They both went against the Colts in the final 50 seconds of a game. To keep that from happening again, he wants to propose a rule that would make all calls reviewable in the final 2 minutes. What about non-calls? Right? He wants all calls to be reviewable because the final couple minutes of a game aren't long enough. That's not right. This is a quote from Jim Irsay on his social media on the X. Quote, the NFL admits and understands that they did not make the correct calls at the end of the Sunday's Colts-Browns game. I believe we need to institute instant replay for all calls, including penalties, in the last 2 minutes of all games, end quote. Here's the issue. Penalties are so hard. We go frame by frame. And I get a different interpretation from my rules analyst and my game analysts. And what was his hand? Did he have his hand around his waist or did he not? Or was he there early? Or I don't know, man. Do we want to start replaying non-calls? Darrell Baker Jr. is the Colts cornerback. He got 2 penalties on 2 consecutive plays. Under a minute to play. Browns were down 39-33. It was 4th and 13. And third down play, P.J. Walker got strip sacked. The Colts came up with a fumble recovery. It looks like that was it. But the Browns got the break when Baker was called for illegal contact. Next play, he was flagged for interference on Donovan Peoples-Jones, right? Problem was the pass appeared to be. There's not a human on earth who could have caught that ball. It was way overthrown. They were throwing the ball away. Now, is it still a penalty? Well, if they'd have reviewed that, what would that have been?
I hate this idea.
I do too.
Looking at everything.
I do too.
When it comes to penalties.
Yeah. I think what the bigger issue, and I might be in the minority here, and I go back to this a lot. We have put so much on these officials. I think at times they over officiate the game.
And sometimes you just do miss things.
Yeah.
Like when we look at a replay after the fact, it's slowed down, you're hyper focused on it, and even things that would seem obvious in real time can still be missed. You look at that 4th down play Sunday Night Football when Miami went for it and there was a blatant face mask. It looked blatant, but they missed it. And where do you draw the line? Is it, well, blatant stuff will go back, and if it's stuff that it's like, oh, it could be, it could not be, what do you do there?
I want to take you back. It was it 2019? The year after the Rams got in the Super Bowl on the non-call against the Saints. I mean, it was a blatant pass interference. Yeah. So 2019, the league decided to make pass interference reviewable, right? It was horrible. It existed for one season, and they admitted they failed miserably by even trying to implement it. I think you're right. It sucks. You try to get it right, and you've implemented so many different ways of instant replay, and then you see something that you never see before, or a team gets hosed. I mean, I don't know. You want to get it right. I look at the Rams game against Pittsburgh. Part of it is the Rams did not have a timeout to throw a flag to ask for a replay. Kenny Pickett was down short. I mean, the short of the line of the game was obvious. They gave it to him by the nose of the football. Rams didn't get the ball back. Would they have won? I don't know, but they would have had a chance. So this is how much do you do? Text line says they should get rid of the human factor altogether and just let AI do it all. Same thing with baseball, especially with baseball, it says. Okay. Text line says, Jeff, Aggies play Auburn in 2 weeks. That's their real bowl game. They don't need the New Mexico bowl game. Okay. I mean, probably a good thing that you don't make the decisions for New Mexico State, that Mario and Jerry Kill get to, but okay. That's their bowl game. Okay. I mean, if that's how you feel, that's cool. They can go get their gift suite and go get all their gifts and go down and play their real bowl game against Auburn. I think it's a minority, right? In fact, I'm relatively certain. Terry says, missed the Phillies celebration in the D-backs pool. Do Castellanos have naked pics to hold over their manager? Heaven forbid they use a pinch hitter for a player in an 0-for-21 stretch. Yeah, I missed that too. Weren't they planning a big celebration in the Diamondbacks pool when they won in Arizona, the Phillies were? When you plan your celebration before you win, sometimes the celebration doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Premature celebration, is that a thing? Is there a pill for that? Yeah. Is there an ointment for that or something? I don't even know. A salve? A topical?
Some sort of balm.
Some sort of a balm? Yeah. 505-246-0610. You can get in. We're going to wrap up everything we've done, what you need to know going into your Wednesday when we come back on the opening drive. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night, and no Thursday night football. Let me tell you about On the Spot Automotive Detailing, because they are terrific and they come out and detail my vehicle. What does that mean when I say they come out and detail my vehicle? Well, kind of exactly what it sounds like. They come to me when it's convenient, when it works for me, and detail my vehicle. When they're done, it's not just clean, it's detailed. Inside, outside, under the hood, around the rims. Like, remember the day you took it off the lot? Remember how fun it was to get into your brand new vehicle? That's what it's like. And they do it at your convenience. You don't have time to take it to them? I get it. They come to you. You're in the office. You're working for a couple hours. You get a text, you go outside. Boom, done. It is a great gift, by the way. As we go into gift-giving season, just gave this gift actually last week. Winner, 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 winner. Everybody loves it. Best gift is something that somebody's going to love that they probably won't buy for themselves, right? That's what this is. Get your car professionally detailed. Get a fresh coat of wax, even ceramic coating. It's the best way to protect your car. And On the Spot offers a 10% discount to our military and teachers. Schedule online, otsdetailing.com. That's otsdetailing.com, or you can call them at 505-859-2859. That's area code 505-859-2859. On the Spot Automotive Detailing.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in
beat the Lakers last night, 119-107. Phoenix was a winner in San Francisco, beat the Warriors 108-104. Aggies win last night in football. Tuesday night lights in Conference USA. 27-24. Beat Louisiana Tech. First time the Aggies have ever won in Ruston, Louisiana. First time the Aggies have won 4 games in a row since 2002. Aggies are 6-3 overall. They are 4-1 in Conference USA play. They will get back to Saturdays a week from this Saturday on November 4 at home against Middle Tennessee with a chance to get bowl eligible. And I know there's been a big confusion. Carter Blackburn on CBS Sports and Rick Neuheisel both said that New Mexico State got bowl eligible with the win. I think Sean Ryder in his write-up said they are technically bowl eligible. Technically bowl eligible. I don't think that's right. 6 wins if you play 12 is bowl eligible. They play 13, so 7 wins is bowl eligible for the Aggies. So they just need one more in the next 4 to get bowl eligible. 1, 2, 3. I mean, however many they can get. Bottom line is, JJ, they're playing for a conference championship now, an opportunity to play in a conference championship game. They are playing for a bowl game. They have Middle Tennessee at home, road games at Western Kentucky, and then Auburn, and then they get Jacksonville State at home. Those are their final 4. Win at least one, you're in a bowl game. Win a couple of them, and you could be playing for a conference championship.
And they can. Liberty and Jacksonville State are a step above everyone.
Feels that way.
With what we've seen.
Yeah, and Liberty already beat them.
In Middle Tennessee, Western Kentucky, those are winnable games for this team because that's who New Mexico State is now. Like, it's not, we got to go do this. No, it's like, this is a tough opponent. This is a conference team that's coming in the Aggies and is going to present problems for their opponents.
And they're 4-1 conference and won a tough road game yesterday, down 16-3 on the road, and came back and won. John, you still wobbling in your shoes? Hello, John.
Dude, we need to wobble on a little bit more.
Yeah, you do.
Man, that was, I didn't get to see much of it. I saw the highlights after the game. And, I like that coach, Jerry Kill, man. He's got those kids believing in each other and themselves. And passion is a great equalizer in the world. And those kids have got it.
Yeah, I think he's got passion, and, he's done a number of things there. I do think, he talked about the talent level coming up that they really recruited. And I think, to me, John, and you've watched Aggie football for a long time, I know, defensively, this is as good as I've seen them defensively in a long, long time.
That is a pretty damn good defensive team, and I can only imagine they'll probably be better next year. But for right now, it feels good. We're going to bask in it. People are going to try and tear us apart and say, oh, it's the conference, oh, it's blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, a win's a win, man. I don't care where you are, and a lot of people can't do it, and they're doing a great job.
Hey, John, you know what I haven't heard once today? You know what? Honestly, I've been doing this for 2 hours and 51 minutes today. I haven't heard that once today. Oh, well, who have they beat?
That is so good.
Yeah, I haven't heard it once today.
Maybe New Mexico as a fan base or just people in general are turning the corner with the team, and I think it's that mindset. These programs that have great traditions, there's a mindset, not what's just in the team, it's within the community, and at the end of the day, the community is part of the team, and we can either tear ourselves down or build ourselves up.
Yeah, let's do the latter.
Let's do the latter. But no, it's really thrilling, and thanks for taking my call, and hope you guys have a good day.
Enjoy the day. Thanks, John. I mean, am I wrong? I have not heard, I haven't got an email yet. And it's not that I just haven't read them. I mean, I haven't got one. I haven't got a call. So, yeah, but who are they beating? Or I think people have started to realize, damn, dude, they won 4 in a row. They're 6-3. They're better. They're a good football team.
Yes, they are.
Have you heard it today? Did I miss it? Kind of cool. I mean, I was thinking, maybe did I just become numb to it? Maybe not. Hello, Adolph. You're on the Sports Animal. What's happening?
Hey, have you guys been paying attention to what's been happening at the University of Michigan and this scouting?
Yep.
I'm a little bit perplexed, but just catching up on the story here, this could have a serious effect on Michigan football here if these allegations are true. I know the NCAA usually takes a long time to complete an investigative process, but a staffer who essentially is videotaping games that are on Michigan's schedule, and from what I understand, he purchased 2 tickets one for each side of the stadium, and was videotaping through a cell phone. And what is y'all's take on this? I'll get off.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you, and thanks. So you cannot send people to, you can't do what they're doing. You can't go scout signs. I mean, it's just, you're not allowed to do it. And it sounds like by every account now, I mean, the deeper they get into this, yeah, they have a staffer who bought tickets to games and was watching signs, evidently, and like by every account, and this is what, strike like 3 on Michigan's program, right? And yet they keep winning and they keep winning and they keep winning. But yeah, by every account, there's this staffer at UNM, not UNM, I'm sorry, at the University, I said UM, University of Michigan. And there's this scouting ring being orchestrated, is what they're accusing, by a suspended analyst at Michigan named Connor Stalinos. And ESPN reported earlier this week that he bought tickets for games at 4 schools outside of the Big Ten that were either in the college football playoff or contenders, playing contenders. There's a record of him buying tickets to the 2021 and 2022 SEC title games, which, whatever, fine, he went to the game, but all potential schools that Michigan would play. And the allegation is that they were scouting and there was a sign-stealing operation because the Wolverines. Palm will be with us at 8:30. Andrew Henry, Lobo running back, at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Looking forward to that conversation as Lobos get set to go to Reno to take on the Pack. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. You guys want to come back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. and do award-winning radio again?
Let's do it.
All right. Great work, Adrian. I noticed all the video.
All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make.
International Protective Services.
And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium,